yourselves to your job. Don't model your behaviors after other people who may have made it. Bring yourself to your job, share of yourself, and that really helps people understand the whole person, which at the end of the day, when you're leading and managing a team, people want to know that you understand what their whole being is about, their families, their significant others, what they're interested in outside of work. So I think, if more people treated each other as whole people at work, regardless of gender, we'd be in a better place.
I think one of the most important things for your personal effectiveness is the ability to meet anyone where they're at and not expect them to meet you where you are. And when you're able to do that, when you're able to understand where someone else is and join them there, you will find that the walk together will be much easier.
If people can slow down and understand it from a different point of view, that's where change comes from. We're all the same. It doesn't matter. Gender is a concept, and we need to look for our similarities rather than our differences and come together and lift each other up rather than tear each other down.
I think it's about finding the humor in a situation, not targeting a person, not trying to make somebody less than. The idea is situations in business can get incredibly absurd. The point is, don't take yourselves too seriously. Find the humor in it, find the solution, move on, and do it with a spirit of fun. If you don't enjoy what you do, find a new job. Don't do something that, don't have misery in your life.
The best way to lead is to lead by example and to lead as role models, as opposed to leading by, edict or fiat or any kind of absolute direction.
I think the number one thing about being persuasive is to know your audience and to be able to step out of your own point of view and look at the topic or the issue from the perspective of the person you're trying to influence. And then take another look at your whole concept from their perspective and come at it from that point of view. It will allow you to produce work that is of a better quality and allow you to influence others to get behind your work.
I always scan my environment. I take a step back, take a look in and say, okay, what's going on here? In an organization, it's again, paying attention to the culture, not just about what people say, but about how people behave.
Women should give themselves permission to advocate for themselves.
Self-confidence is a critical element to being able to be successful, but also remain authentically successful. So I think that if we work on self-confidence as a primary attribute, take the first risk, you take the second risk, and then it becomes a little bit more comfortable versus always staying in your cocoon.
It's important to understand that, you have to think about how you're being perceived. And on the back end, you can rage against that culture, right, and try to change the culture. But in the meantime, you can also think about, well, how are other folks perceiving me, and what are the sorts of things that I need to do to operate within this culture, and to make sure that I'm creating a culture where maybe people don't need to conform to those kinds of norms any longer. But if I want to get to the top and make the rules, I might need to think a little bit harder about my behavior so that I'm not labeled in that way and I can move forward successfully, and then I can change stuff when I'm at the top.